And there it is! Socrates Jones, pro philosopher, conquered. Alright. I have to admit, okay, I beat this in one sitting, so there's no thoughts written down. But I have to admit, there was a small bit of apprehension playing this game. Mostly just because, A, it's a Flash game. B, it could not be as good. But it could not be. But in my time, I have come to learn that if Heels makes a recommendation, it's gonna be a good game. He knows me well. He knows me very, very well. My overall thoughts on this game is it's actually quite fantastic. If the Ace Attorney games were this, I would enjoy the Ace Attorney games so much more than I do. The investigation parts are really weak parts in those games, and this game doesn't have any of that. It's just the debates, and the debates are the strongest points. Trying to find that moment where a particular argument goes, and trying to understand their viewpoints was a very unique aspect to this game because it's about philosophy. And I found that really, really cool. Where I'm thinking about ways that philosophy would kind of work. It's kind of like an educational experience for me in a way. It got me thinking about philosophy. And a game that does that is a very successful game in my book. So I like this game a lot, actually. Far more, far greater, far better, however ungrammatically correct way you want to say it, than I thought I would. And probably, it is probably, I don't know how best to say this, but like I like this game a lot. Like a lot. It is a fantastic game. I don't regret playing it at all. It's written really well. The debates are done really well. I think the mechanics are done really well. It trims out all the fat. I don't think there's anything unlikable about this game. It's just good in every single aspect. I can't think of anything, Again, I'm sitting here in one sitting, so I haven't had a great chance to collect all of my thoughts. It's just off the dome. But I like it a lot. How does it feel to philosophy so hard? It feels pretty good, I might be able to go to Pung now and just be like, you know what, Pungatha? I'm a better philosophy person than you are. How does it feel? How does it feel? You have a degree and I don't. And I might just be better. I might have to do that. And then he's just going to send me a message and be like, hey, and I'll send him a message saying, hey, and he'll never respond to me. It really punches way higher than it has any right to. It kind of does. You don't look at this game and expect it to be fantastic. But it is fantastic. It's pretty amazing. You feel like one of the great things about this game is with Phoenix Wright, you're trying to figure out some nonsense series of events or shenanigans. That is true. I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 to that statement as well, and I shouldn't have read it that soon. But I think whereas in this game you're figuring out more universal truths that you can relate to every day. I think that also does work, especially because there is definitely some nonsense in the Phoenix Wright game, or the Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright games, where it's like, this doesn't make any sense, but it's literally the only option I have. Where in this, you're trying to find answers to basically something that doesn't have an answer. And so you're not trying to find the truth of the matter. You're just trying to find the flaws in the matter. And that's really cool because all of those philosophies are not necessarily wrong. It's just there's a flaw in what we can potentially say in every philosophy out there. And so all we're doing is trying to find the flaw. It's a very nice, I don't want to say twist, but a different direction. And I like that direction. It's quite nice. It's definitely a real diamond in the small rough of Flash games it's found with. Yeah, Flash games are going away. I highly doubt I will be posting this before 2021, but if you find a way to play this game and you're still interested in it, I would highly recommend it. Like every single time you read the guy's argument and you immediately knew generally what was wrong with it because they were talking about real world stuff, not shenanigans. And that's actually a good point too, because in the Phoenix Wright games, you don't necessarily know the conclusions. I mean, you know you're going to find something wrong, but you don't know what the end point is. In this game, you know, if they're coming to me with a nebulous thing, but I know exactly what the end point is. I know this isn't going to work out. It's just trying to find the puzzle pieces of how to get to that point of how it doesn't work out. And it is significantly more relatable, which is kind of nice because I can actually use what I could probably consider to be real world knowledge. Even if I'm not very knowledgeable on philosophy, I do feel like I understand some of the concepts of philosophy, and I was able to utilize that knowledge, and my knowledge itself was expanded because of what I've learned from previous philosophers in the game. So I like that a lot. There are a couple projects to archive Flash games after they go away, and you did confirm this game exists in the biggest archive. I forgot what the project is called. Okay. Well then, you still have an opportunity to play this game if this is in 2021, which most likely it will be. But yeah, I don't think I have very much else to say other than I am extremely happy with this game. It is a fantastic game. I don't regret any of the time, the 4 hours and 40 minutes that I have streamed with it so far. Thank you very much for the recommendation, Heels. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I guess if I were to just say if the developer is watching, I would love to see either... I mean, I would definitely like to see a game like this be put on like a console platform or a PC release. Put this thing on Steam or something like that. Flash is dying, so it would be kind of cool to be able to port this over to, you know, a more playable format. I would also like to see some like a sequel or something like that. I think the Ace Attorney games have a very untapped market per se, and this game takes that market in it's essentially the same direction mechanically, but it trims out the fat, and it's just more enjoyable because of it. But then again, you know, these types of games are probably a little difficult to develop, especially when it comes to philosophy and things like that. But if a sequel were to ever come out, I'd be looking at it because this game is pretty great. Thanks for giving it a shot. Much love. Well, what the recommended games list is for. If you haven't recommended a game to me, and it's not already on my list of games that I want to play, then, I will add it to my list. I can't guarantee that I will play it, but I will add it to my list, and I will look at that list every single time that I need another game to play. So there you go. Sad thing about this is because philosophy is so contentious, especially in today's global climate, it's hard to see a future for a game or a remake of this on philosophy, since people avoid being scandalous. No matter how necessary you think this kind of thinking is critical nowadays. I actually thought about this. It was when it might have been Kant. There was one particular philosopher that really got me thinking, like, man, it could have been the happiness guy. I don't remember exactly, but one of them got me thinking, a lot of people, the world would really be a better place if not necessarily people thought like this, but maybe just approached situations in a way that's similar to this. Like the happiness guy, like you don't necessarily have to pursue happiness in every action that you do, but maybe to pursue happiness in as many interactions as possible would be nice. To uplift instead of degrade, that would be kind of great. I don't know. I definitely do think that society could benefit from some of the outlooks that some of these philosophies do present. You don't necessarily have to follow the entire philosophy, but the guy that's talking about happiness, there's just base what he's saying, like, we just want to pursue happiness. Like that's a nice thing to pursue. Like, you know what? Going to sleep at 9 a.m. that gives me happiness. So I'm gonna pursue happiness. Well, you absolutely feel like every one of these philosophers has great points. Every time you play, you find yourself agreeing with them, even as you argue them down. Except Kant. That guy's just insane. Yeah. All right. Well, that was today's stream. I thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, and I will be playing something. I don't know what I'm going to be playing, but if you paid attention to what today is, tomorrow is a day, and there is that. So I'm ending this thoughts here. Yeah.